Going live tonight, just going over my process of how we get jobs approved, Christmas light jobs specifically. We're also getting some permanent. I got a permanent light job approved today. I'm happy to talk about that. But I'm going to spend a few minutes sharing it real quick. So anybody that jumps on, let me know if you can hear me all right. And let's see if we can get this going. So just bear with me for a few minutes while I share this and get the live going. All right. Let's see, pages. All right, there we go. Hey, can you guys hear me all right? Put it in the comments section. There we go, there's the chat. See, we got 3 or 4 people on here jumping on already. Can you guys hear me okay? Put it in the comment section if you can hear me. How to get light jobs. We'll call it Christmas light jobs. All right, share it there. Not seeing any. Let's see. Can anybody put it in the comment section if they can hear me all right? Can everyone hear me? Hey, can you guys hear me all right? You know what? I'm on my own live, so I can hear that. All right, and then I'll share to the group. So we'll go here, share, and then share in the group. No, not that group. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Last thing I need to do is go to the group. Make sure it's shared. Let's see. Copy link. Where was my post from earlier? There we go. There we go. Now we're getting some people jumping on. Okay, very cool. All right, y'all. Thank you for bearing with me. So let's talk about essentially my whole process from A to Z. Quick 1,000-yard approach. If you guys got any questions, just put them in the comments. I cannot see if you're commenting on a post. I need you to actually click on the live and put the comment in the live itself. Before we get started, let's see. In-person training. All right. So we have in-person training coming up here in a couple of weeks. Just click that link right there if you're interested. In Indiana, I know Fred's going to be there. Spencer Clay's going to be there. And Tyler Zimmerman's going to be there as well. I'm not going to be at the Indiana training, but you guys can check that out if you're interested in in-person training. And then if you're looking for any online training, everything that I talk about now, examples A to Z, printouts, pictures, all that good stuff, you can find it all at CLC University. It's $99 a month. That price is going up to $199 at the end of this month. So you got 2 more weeks to take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, what is professional grade lighting? Okay, professional grade lighting, the difference is that we can custom cut all the lights to fit the homes perfectly. So like right here, okay, the lights stop, and over there they start, those little dormers. You know, there's no extra lights. There's none that are short. You get a starter package from CLC and test it out in your home. Same thing like right here, right? All those little, this entire display here, the roof line, the reeves, the columns, the bushes, the walkway, everything there is wired up to 1 outlet, 1 plug, 1 timer. So that's one big difference of professional grade versus what you can get in the stores. The other big difference that we're seeing in the industry right now, probably the popular thing, who knows how long it's going to last, is permanent lights. So that's where people take lights that look like this, and they can change the colors from their phone and everything else. And you can program it, and you leave them up year round. They're ready to be left up. And so that is very popular right now. People are seeing between 20 and 30% of their quotes are essentially permanent lights. But I just want to go over, let's say, let me bring chat back up. I'm interested. There we go, Paul. Oh, so if you're not there, I'm not interested. But hey, Paul, what if Spencer Clay's there? You know what? You'd be really impressed by Spencer Clay's. But I am probably going to do just some meetups. What I've been doing is actually going out to businesses. So, Paul, if you got a bunch of new guys that you're getting trained this year and you want me to come out to your shop and train them, I'm happy to do that. So I've done that a few times in the last couple of weeks, and that's been a lot of fun. Last company I went out to in Maryland, they had 10 install crews, and so they're absolutely going to set the world on fire. And then I was in Pennsylvania before there. So you don't know Spencer. Spencer is a young guy. I wouldn't say newly married, but new parent. They got like a 1 or 2 year old at this point. A little bit of an influencer, but just a good hustler, just a good guy. You'd like him if you met him. He fits in good with the CLC crowd. But he's going to be up there. You'd get a kick out of meeting him. And then Tyler is going to be there as well. But anywho, look, this isn't a promotion for coming to training. If you guys want training, it's available. If you need online training, it's available. If you guys just want to watch these weekly lives, we're starting to go live in the CLC page and in the group. I think we're on YouTube, Instagram right now. All that is going live. It's going to be at least once a week that we'll be going live. So you don't have to pay for anything. You guys can just learn. As a matter of fact, that's how I learned. That's how I got started. I never paid for a training. I just watched a few YouTube videos from Jason Guyman and then started putting up lights myself. The distribution came, further down the road, and it's just turned into a real lucrative thing for Fred and I. And it's turned into like a necessity as well as an extension of our install business. So, or more of like a necessity for the group. But anywho, let's just go ahead and get started. I think we got enough people on here now. I don't need to stall for any longer. But let's talk about how I'm getting jobs approved right now. A big part of that is my repeats. And I know a lot of people are reaching out to me and they're saying, Donovan, I've reached out to my people and I can't even get my repeat clients to sign up. And this is what, September? And what I will say is that if you are brand new and you're not getting people, like if this is your first year and you're not getting new people signed up right now, I would not be too worried. I would look at everything before like the 5th, the 10th of November as a bonus if I am brand new in business. And also, depending upon your marketing budget, I don't know that I would spend a lot of money right now. If you're brand new, I don't know that I'd actually be spending a lot of money trying to get new clients signed up. Now, if you have a $10,000 marketing budget, then go for it. Go ahead. And it doesn't matter if you don't get as big of a return. But if you only have like $1,000, $2,000 to spend on marketing and you're like tapped out, like that's all you got, you don't need to buy materials. You don't need to pay for training. What you need to do is learn how to get that phone to ring. So that's where I'm coming from on this live. And then I'll also address if you are like year 2 to year 10 in business, what you guys should be doing to get a lot of people signed up. Now, the best example that I know of somebody with a lot of experience is a commercial company, and they probably have $5 million, $6 million already signed up for this year. So absolutely, there's a lot of potential in the industry. I'm not seeing economy or anything else slowing us down this year. So my thing is like, go all in. If and my last piece of advice is, if you are unsure if you want to do it, go get a few jobs, get that phone to ring, make some posts on Facebook, just get a few jobs and see if this is something that you want to do. That's what Fred Zimmerman talked me into doing year 1, and it's turned out really great. So let's get to it, right? We got 20, 30 people on here right now. How do you get year 1? How do you get people to sign up right now? You need to get into your spheres of influence. In CLC University, this is what I call, when I refer to CLC University, it's our online training, okay? But this is the phase that I call getting the word out, right? This is what everybody should be doing, is Yeah, businesses out there, the action takers will kill it this year. So Paul, I think came out to the first training we put on years ago. Paul, when did you get started? I got started, I believe, in 2018. Were you 2020? And now Paul has been in the sign industry for a really long time, very successful business, but he's gotten into permanent landscape lighting, holiday lighting. Paul basically loves everything lighting related. But Paul's absolutely right. If you're working it this year, it's going to work for you. So yeah, 2020 was his first year. So he's 5 years in right now, and he's absolutely crushing it. Multiple locations. I don't know if he's still doing franchise or anything like that, but you can reach out to him if you're interested in. I think he also does some mentorship and stuff like that. Hey, what's going on, Ron? So Ron's based out of Texas, I believe. Also been in the industry. I don't know. Hey, Ron, have you been in the industry for as long as Fred has been in? Fred's been in forever. Okay, so brand new people. If you are brand new and you want business right now, you need to get the word out. All right. So you need to get into all your spheres of influence. And 2012. All right, there you go. 13 years. That's pretty dang awesome, man. So you need to your spheres of influence. You need to let everybody know. If you have an existing service business, you need to let everybody know that you're offering this. Now, my existing service business was gutter cleaning. I don't even think I was doing power washing, but like window cleaning, gutter cleaning. But my pricing was really cheap. So I may have, in the entire time that I've run a Christmas light business, I might have had 5 of my clients that hire me for gutter cleaning actually hire me for Christmas lights. And we do 300 residential homes every year. I'm just going to keep the number conservative. It's way more than this, but I'm just going to let everybody know I'm going to just conservatively say 500,000 in installs a year, right? We do way more than that, right? But nobody will ever be able to call me a liar by just saying I just do 500,000, okay? So you can do the math on that. If we're at 300 houses, that would be what, $1,500 average ticket. What I will tell you is that we do 300 houses and a little less, between 250 and 300 houses. And our average ticket is, I believe, $2,400. And then we do some commercial work as well. Our largest commercial job is in the 6 figures. So you guys can do the math on that. But, when I say 500,000 is attainable on year 3 or 4, we absolutely, that's attainable. I've done it. A lot of other people have done it. But year 1, what you want to do is just get the word out. You need to let everybody know, but don't depend upon that, right? You need to get the word out to everybody and let them know that you're offering professional grade Christmas light installation. And you need to determine a couple of things. Are you going to sell the lights to the clients, or are you going to do like an all-inclusive service? Either one will work, right? But just pick and get passionate about what you're going to offer to your people year 1. And don't change that. Okay. I do all inclusive. That means that I come out here and we're going to design this. When they call, we're going to supply the lights. We're going to put them up. We're going to maintain them. We're going to take them down, and I'm going to store them. If they hire me next year, great. If they don't hire me, I'll put them up on a different house. Right. Some people, what they do is they say, all right, year 1, I'm going to sell them for $15 a foot or something like that. And year 2, I'll reinstall it for like $6, $7, $8, $10, whatever. There's different business models, different places in the country that you can do, but you need to pick that and you need to get passionate about it. The next thing that I will tell you after you get the word out is that you need to go ahead and pick a business name, and you need to get it registered with the state. If you're going to be a sole proprietorship, that's fine. You don't necessarily have to do an LLC. I personally am an LLC filing as an S Corp, but you need to go ahead and do that. And you need to set up a Gmail. You need to set up a website. You need to get a business phone number. It's called Open Phone. I don't have a link for that, but it's just called, I'll put it in the chat. So this is what I use for my cell phone. And it's a business line, but you don't have to pay for a separate one. You go, you set it up for $22 a user, $5 a phone number. You can use it. There's AI on there that can answer the phone for you. There's text messaging and pictures and call summaries and call recording, all that good stuff. Very cheap. I love it. And it works out great. But you need to get all this stuff set up. And then year 1, you need to go ahead and get your Google profile. because years 2, 3, and 4, that's where you're going to make a lot of your money, is through referrals and things of that nature, and your online reviews and whatever. But and then also year 1, go ahead and set up your social media. So these are all things that I would be doing between now and like the 5th of, or the 1st of November, right? All these are things that I would do. I would set up and I would start working on my social media. I'd start working on all these things. And if you get any job sold from it, think of it as gravy. All right. And then what you want to do is basically be prepared come November to hit the ground running, have a real legitimate business. You have experience talking to your clients, and you can get a couple of jobs sold come November. With that seems like very basic stuff, but you'd be surprised how many people I talk to that don't even have that set up or don't even have a CRM. I'll tell you this, guys. This is what my quote looks like. Let's see if I can. There we go. So this is what my quote right here looks like. Is there a way for me to zoom in? I don't know. But if you're going to get a quote from me, this is what my quote looks like. All right. And my CRM is going to have all these optional line items, and you can either do ABC packages or you can do like a la carte. The very first photo right here is a design photo. This is what the design photo looks like. All right, new folks. I go over all of this in CLC University. You can also do AI renderings. William asked, do I use the same CRM for pressure washing? So year 1, yes, I use my same CRM. I just ran it all under DIV cleaning service. And year 2, I built my own brand. So I use Jobber. What I did is I've just paid for 2 accounts. I actually have 3 accounts now because I have or at least 3. We have multiple Christmas light businesses that we run through Jobber. Okay. And so I use the franchise feature. They set it up on the back end so I can have employees switch from one to one. I can have one office person switch from the different ones. And so they can go from scheduling a DIV job, and we send it off to the client. It has my DIV branding. And when they send NC Christmas lights, it has NC Christmas light branding. So I didn't do that expense year 1. I just ran it all under my same one. But year 2, I did go ahead and set up the brand. My suggestion, guys, is to go ahead and pull that trigger and do that year 1. With Jobber, you can pay for the highest tier, which is, I just signed up for another account. So it's like 300 or 350. Do the month to month. And then what you can do is come January, you can just go down to the lowest tier. And it's like very reasonable. But I will do that on all but one of my light accounts. I'll just reduce them down to the lowest tier come January. Now, look, this is how I do my quotes because the red line item correlates to a line item on my photo, all right? The orange circle is a 60-inch wreath around the garage door. That's another line item. The yellow is one thing, the light green, the blue. And so this is actually a job that just got approved today, I believe. So I just clicked on the most recent job. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys. And if you look at these line items, hopefully you guys can zoom in on your phone. Oh, wait, what do I do? There we go. There's my face. But each of these line items, like right here, if you, I don't think I can zoom in on the video. Sorry, guys. But if you go and you read, it says house outline basic, the red line on the design photo. And the next really important thing that I want to show you is my actual example photos. This, I think, is the biggest key why I can sell very high-end expensive jobs. And this one, let's go to here. Let me move my big head. Okay, so this was $3,000. Okay, so not a mammoth house, but what you guys see right here is $3,000. And this will take my guys 2 hours, maybe 3 hours to install. So $1,000 an hour, that's about right. All right, here we go. So what you'll notice here is all of these line items are a la carte. There's a little checkbox right there that says optional and recommended. This particular client just went ahead and did everything. But here's the key. If you go down here on this very last, it says landscape lighting. That's bright green area and design photo, C9 bulbs outlining front walkway. But look at my example photo. This is the example photo for the C9 bulbs outlining the sidewalk. Guess what? It also shows the railing. It also shows the roof on the house. So if you're trying to upsell a 60-inch wreath, let's see where that's at. Wreath, 60-inch right there, and we're charging $400 a wreath, okay? So on that wreath right there, right here. There we go. All right, if I am going to, that is dusty. There we go. If I'm going to upsell that wreath right there for $400, okay, what you don't want to do is send a picture of just the wreath, right? You want to send them this picture, okay? How is that going to look on their house? Or even if you're going to say multicolor, if you're going to upsell multicolor or upsell Halloween lights or something like that, a lot of people don't like that multicolor, or they don't want the bushes done, or they don't want the columns done. But then you show them a picture like this on what it could actually look like on their home. You don't have to do a rendering with how I'm doing it. You don't have to go to ChatGPT. You don't have to pay for Holiday Home Concepts or Strander or anything like that, okay? If you have these very beautiful pictures attached to each line item. Example photos, you can get all that. You go to the Christmas Light Contractor group, and you can get all of those. Just ask or look up my name, search posts that I made in the past. There's plenty of people that will help you with basic photos. Or again, you go to CLC University, you can download a ton of photos there. But that is a huge key, guys. And I'm spending a lot of time on this because I feel like it's really, really, really important. It doesn't matter how many feet of C9 lights I'm putting up on that roof when I'm talking to these clients and I'm trying to get them to pay $3,000, $4,000 for lights on their home. Okay. I'm not just saying, hey, for the front of your house, it's going to be $1,500. Or in that case, hey, we can decorate the front of your home. It's going to be $3,000. That will not sell jobs. Okay. The client, matter of fact, I'll even say it this way. You go and you just tell them on this quote right here. You just tell them the front of their house, hey, yeah, I can. What are we doing? I don't even remember. You just tell them on the phone, okay, yeah, we can put up lights on the front. We can put a couple of wreaths on the peak and maybe put lights around your handrails, the walkway, and around the garage door, and it's going to be $3,000. You will not sell jobs if that's how you approach it, okay? It is how you talk to people and how you describe your service and, you know, everything that you're going to do for them that's beyond the lights themselves. That is how you sell these jobs. The clients are not paying me $3,000 for this 125 feet of lights that are going up on their house. Okay. It's not about the lights. It's about, hey, Mrs. Jones, why are you looking to hire us? Oh, you had a different company last year. Why aren't you, are you just looking for a better price, or why aren't you reaching out to them again? Right? Asking those questions when you get them on the phone, and really trying to figure out what do they really want from you? Because some of these people, they just want lights and they just want the cheapest possible. And if you are the cheapest possible, that's how you can sell. I know a lot of guys, there's a big company out of Utah. He does distribution and everything else. And he's out there and he's just selling lights for $2-3 a foot. Right. And he has thousands and thousands of jobs. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's just not my business model. So you can be really cheap and you can just pump out these quotes like you don't even have to go as detailed as what I'm talking about. But if you're going to go high end, if you're going to try to get $8, $10, $12 a foot, like I'm getting, matter of fact, let's do the math on this. And to be 100% transparent with you guys, I've never looked at this quote before. I just looked and saw it got approved. Can anybody zoom? What does that say right there? Does that say $1,200 for that top line item? Can anybody zoom in and see? You guys got the whole screen. I just have it's even way smaller for me, so I can't see. Let me see if I can go to the quote itself. Dang it, I just exited out of the quote. Oh, here we go. Okay, $1,200. All right, so $1,200 for just the red. So what do we think the math is on this right here? Somebody put in the chat. And I'll go ahead and measure. Okay, so $1,200. How many linear feet is that right there? Look at this house. How many linear feet is this? And we'll go over this as well. This will help some new people as well. Okay, but it's $1,200 just for the red that you guys are seeing right here. So how many linear feet do you guys see? Somebody put it in the chat. And I'll just go ahead and start going. I'll just come up with what I can come up with, what I know. All right. The front door is probably 36 inches wide. Okay. The garage door from right here, 125. Yeah. Michael, I think you're okay. So William said $1,200 for red. We got 125, 100 feet maybe. Paul's saying, all right, 120. 120. All right, so guys, I think we're all going to come up with the same numbers between 100 and 125. I think that's really accurate. Now, there is one thing on this photo. Actually, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that's really going to increase 110. All right, so 120, 110. Yeah, we're all in the same range. And what I would say is, for me, it doesn't matter. Justin Willard. All right, Justin, yeah, 190, 110, great. So Justin and I are actually teamed up over in Greensboro. So we're teaming up now, and we're NC Christmas Lights. Yeah, there you go. All right, Paul said it right there. And a lot. Okay, so that's the number one thing that can throw us off is these dormers. Okay, for one, that roof right there, he's saying tricky. And so that roof right there is probably a 10-12 or a 12-12 pitch on right there above that dormer. So how are you guys going to get to them? That's one thing if you guys are brand new. Okay, the other thing is we don't know. Okay, so if this is the roof and the dormer's standing out like this, we just see the front profile. But how does it go that far or does it go that far? Like, you don't know how far deep these roof line goes in a couple of the areas. For one is the dormer. So let's say that if that roof is really steep, then the dormer doesn't have a whole lot of depth. But if that roof is shallower, and let's say it's a 6-12 pitch, then there's a lot of distance from the front to the back of that dormer. Does that make sense, guys? So you might want to look, when you're first starting out, you might want to look at a Google overhead image to get the cutbacks, right? To figure out what's going on there. Because you could have 10, 20, 30, 40, and here's a couple other areas. Right there in that corner, that gutter could jump back 10 feet right there. So that could be 10 feet. And right here, that could jump back 1 foot, or that could jump back 10 feet at the top. Right there and right there. Same thing in that corner. So doing this, Justin's asking, doing the sides or just the front? Now, I'm going to do the sides of the dormers and also right here on the front porch. You see, that's just a straight line right there. But I'm going to have to drop a power line. You can see the downspout from the second story to the first story right there. So he's saying, exactly, look, didn't count the sides. But what I just counted up real quick, that could be 30, 40 feet, depending upon how far deep those different sections are. On the dormers, there in that corner, the cut back here, the cut back there, and then also in that corner, and then on either side of the front porch roof. Those areas could add quite a bit of linear footage. And here's what I have to tell my guys. Look, if I got to run a power cord right there to power it up, so I know that I'm going to have a power cord coming from the second story gutter down that downspout right there, and then going right here. So I'll either be powering it up from like maybe the side of the house over here, and the power is going to flow up this direction over here, come down, power up the front porch, drop down, do around the door, or there's an outlet on the front porch, and I'm actually going to get my power going up this downspout across, up here, this direction, that direction. But I have to run a power cord or lights from that front corner of the front porch back to that downspout where the roofing meets the house. So I'm going to go ahead and outline it in lights because it'll look better, okay? That's just me. That's, in my opinion, sets my jobs apart a little tiny bit, is like those little areas, even though you can't see it from this perspective, we're going to put lights on it. And that's, again, it's just something that sets me apart. Maybe I get a little bit less per foot. However, my job's going to look substantially better. If they go for somebody way cheaper that is just doesn't have an eye for those little details, it's not going to be the same. if you have my house sitting next to somebody else's next door, theirs is obviously going to be cheaper. And it's going to look cheaper as well. So those are some things to think about. Okay, how do we measure this if we're not using Google Earth or like AI or something like that? Okay, I'm going to go over a couple of ways. One is an advanced way, and one is a very basic way. If you have a clear ruler, I usually have one at my desk, but I don't see one right here. But I have like a clear ruler. And so what I would be able to do is measure from here to here. And let's say on my screen, that equals 1 inch. But I know in real life that from here to here is 16 feet. I now know that if I measure 1 inch of roof line, that equals 16 feet of lights. Okay. I'm going to try to come up with what I think is equal to 10 feet or 25 feet. And I'm just going to call that quick math. And so if from the edge of this purple to over here is 16, and then I got a little extra here and a little extra there, I'm willing to bet that the roof line from over the garage from there to there is either 24 or 25 feet. So I'm just going to call it 25 feet. Okay. The sides of the dormers and going up, I'm just going to call those again 25 feet. So I've got 25, 50, 75. All right. That's my quick math. Now, about half that distance is from there to there. That's about what from here to here is. So I'm also going to say from here to there and there, that's also another 25 feet. All right. So I am now at 25, 50, 75, 100. 125, 10 feet there, 135. That is my quick math without measuring, without doing anything. And I'm coming in above where everybody else is coming in, which is good. What I don't want you doing is coming up here and saying, oh, that's going to be 90 feet, right? Or that's going to be 75. And then you don't even realize that you're using 25 feet of lights on the dormers alone. So something to think about, guys. I would probably bid this one 125 feet, 135 feet, something like that on my quick math. And so, yeah, that should be, let's see, what is 1,200 divided by 135 equals $8.88 a foot. So that tells you guys I'm bidding them right now at $8 a foot. So if you get a quote from me, that's my linear pricing. That's how I came up with it. Now, everything else on here is going to be more expensive. And that's my other rule. If you're first starting out, you can charge $6 a foot for what I just went over right there. You got 120 feet, and you can come in there at $900. You can come in there at $1,000. You get a few jobs. I give you permission, okay, to do that for like 3 jobs, okay? You go, you buy, you bid it at $6. You collect a deposit, right? You collect you bid it at whatever. You charge them $1,000. You collect 50% deposit. You got $500 now. You do that 2 or 3 times, okay? Now you got $1,500. You can go on to lights for sale. Let me put it right here. All right, right there. Just put it in the chat. You can go to lights for sale and buy a 15-inch, 1,000-foot starter package. That's going to give you your best price per foot, right? And they're like, again, $1,500, free shipping. All right. On this house, we know that was 125 feet, and you sold 3 of those for $1,500. You collected 50% deposits. You bought a starter package. You then go and you put up the lights. Put them up as soon as you get them. It's going to take about 2 days shipping to get that package. So by Thursday of this week, right, you go and you put those lights up on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. You do 1 job a day, and then you collect the remaining $1,500. Now you got $1,500 in your pocket, and you got 500 feet of lights left. All right? It is as simple as that to get started. Does anybody need me to repeat that? You go, you sell 1, 2, 3 jobs by just getting the word out, by taking some photos, doing a post on Facebook, letting everybody know at church, let your kids at T-ball and let their parents know, and you just get the word out. Hey, I'm offering this, okay? You design it up like how I'm doing them. You send them the quote. You get a 50% deposit. You buy a starter package. It takes 2 days shipping. You put the lights up. Plan on 1 job a day. It doesn't matter that it would take my guys 2 hours. If it takes you all day, who cares? It's still a win. You're learning and you go out there, all right? You collect the remaining 50% deposit at the time of install. All right? Now, come Saturday, come next Monday, okay, you got $1,500 to the plus that you can now spend on advertising, and you got 500 feet of lights left over. Okay? Advertising, yard signs. If you don't have a Google profile, okay, you don't have social media and everything else, all right, yard signs. Take that $1,500 and go buy 500 yard signs for $3 a piece, or buy 400, whatever it takes to get a yard sign. And all you're going to have is, remember I put in the chat earlier, open phone. You're going to have Christmas lights. We install Christmas lights and a phone number. All right. You can get a couple hundred signs and you can start putting those out, like around, I'll tell you the exact day to start putting them out is October 26th. Okay. So you can start that last week of October. Okay. And so that way you got whatever, if you buy 500 yard signs, you can put out 75 signs for the last week of October, right before everybody goes trick-or-treating. And then you got, how many weeks do we have in November before Thanksgiving? That gives you 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks at 75 yard signs. That is 300 yard signs. And then you're going to do 100 signs the week of November, Thanksgiving, the last week in November, and then the first week in December. 100 signs those weeks. That's your 500 yard signs. Anybody need me to repeat that game plan? Nope. All right, guys. And guess what? You still have 500 feet of lights that you can go sell and get another $3,000. Okay? I hope everybody's tracking there. But that's my advice for you year one. Anybody have any questions with that game plan? That's without Facebook ads. That's without everything else. But that would literally be my game plan for you for your first 3 jobs. Anybody have any questions? Put them in the chat. I would like to move on. I want to respect everybody's time, but I want to talk a little bit about if you have a little bit more experience, how you get your renewals set up. But again, any new folks, any questions, anything about marketing, put them in the chat. I'll circle back to it here in about 15 minutes as we're wrapping up, okay? So people getting renewals, if you're struggling getting renewals, that's what I want to address right now. And I'll go back to just my pretty face. What I will tell you, oh gosh, all right. Renewals start, and guys, keep putting your questions in the chat. Sometimes I get a little distracted, so I'm not gonna see the chat right now, but I promise you I will come back. Any questions you guys got, just put them in the chat. But I just want to respect everybody's time and keep this to about an hour. So I got about 15 minutes to talk about renewals and stuff like that, but I promise you I will come back. I'm just going to turn it so I don't see it right now so I don't get distracted. So here's my philosophy with renewals, okay? You don't need to give a discount to get a renewal, all right? Renewals start the very first time you talk to clients. Like, just expect to get their repeat business. I don't lock them into a contract, but you can. You can absolutely sell a 3-year contract if you're comfortable with that. I simply do a year to year, and I say, I'm going to make you so happy that you're always going to come back. All right. And then the other thing is as my schedule gets busier, I try to still quote just the roof line. So on this quote right here, I will have the design photo, and I will just have one line item. And then I'll also have a takedown line item. Takedown right there, decoration takedown. Okay, and then my design photo will just be the red. That will be, as my schedule fills up, I will only offer that red part of the roof line right there. I do a couple of things. For one, my guys can get on the roof and really knock those things out, right? They can get them done really quick. I also raise my pricing per linear foot. So I'm at $8 a foot right now. $8, $9, whatever. That'll go up to $10. That'll go up to $12. That'll go up to $15. I've charged as much as $25 a linear foot, guys, because my schedule's really full and they really wanted it done, and I needed to pay overtime. I needed to get overnight materials. Like expenses go up the closer that we get to the end of our season. You know, my guys are burnt out. They've done so many jobs. Again, I got to pay overtime. I got to do all this stuff. Workers' comp goes up. Like, expenses go up. So I simplify my design, and I then charge more per foot. Here's the thing. I don't give them a discount year 2 unless they ask. I can give them up to like a 10% discount if they ask. I'll let them install right now. We're literally installing jobs tomorrow. I think we got 8 jobs on for tomorrow. Okay. those people, if they ask for a discount, yeah, I give you a discount. I need to install them early. I can't install them the week of Thanksgiving and give you a discount, right? All right. So what's the right marketing term? Scarcity. Okay, scarcity. So if this year they want their house to look like this, I say, hey, Miss Jones, I'm so sorry. I'm out of those professional decorations. I can't just run up to the store. I have to custom order everything. It's professional grade. I order direct from the factory. It's going to take me some time, and I've run out for this year. But here's what we can do. I can make your home absolutely beautiful this year. I'll make the roof line look like it came out of a Hallmark movie, and I can outline your roof and look it great. And then at takedown, I'm going to reach out to you, and we'll finalize our 2026 design at the time of takedown in January. That'll give me plenty of time to order all your wreaths, all your custom decorations, lights for the bushes, lights for this, lights for that, and finalize your design for 2026. I'll reach out to you in January after we take this down, and we'll give you everything you want this year. Right? Ding, ding, ding. I'm talking about signing up on that very first phone call, or they didn't get everything they want, or I don't have time to install it, or they want it done in Thanksgiving, and I'm already booked up. They're going to have to wait till the 10th of December, right? Oh, hey, next year, I say, look, I can get you in the first week of December right now. You got to pay that 50% deposit literally right now while I got you on the phone, or I can't even guarantee you that. They'll go ahead and they'll pay it. And I say, look, here's the tip. At takedown, finalize your design in January, pay that deposit. We do payment plans. We do 50% or just pay it all up front. I will let you pick your exact install date. So you can get your exact date if you pay early and you lock it in for renewals. Guys, so I'm planting those seeds already. As soon as I talk to them, I'm talking about next year and how to lock in their date and lock in their design and finalize their thing and custom decorations. I'm making them feel special. I'm making them, you know what I mean? I'm going out there if I have the time right now, and I'm meeting them at their house, and a lot of times I'm only going out there after they approve. I'm in the area. Hey, I might as well stop by and talk to them about upselling a tree or this or that or whatever. I got time to do all of that right now and plant all those seeds and upsell. And, oh, well, all of our tree spots are locked up this year, but let me go ahead and come out and look, and we can lock you in for 2026. But you got to go ahead and pay that deposit, right? So those are all things that I'm doing right now. And you would be surprised how much clients appreciate it when you do that thinking for them, when you do the planning for them. A lot of people, at least my clients, it's not always about the budget. It's not always about the cheapest that you can do it. It's about the convenience. They're so busy, okay, and both the mom and the dad are making six figures, and you know the kids at home want to have this, and they did it last year, and they're working so hard. They got a project at work, or they got a parent that has some health problems or something like that. They just haven't had, they just keep forgetting. They saw your email, they saw your text or whatever. They just forgot, they keep forgetting. And all of a sudden November rolls around and they don't have lights. And you know what I mean? That's your client. Okay. And the more you make it easy for them to approve, the more you talk about it, the sooner you talk about it with them, I'm telling you, they won't get annoyed. They'll appreciate it, and they're willing to pay that deposit right now. So just help them out. Do that thinking for them. Okay. Now, if anybody has questions about my philosophy, it's like always project the future. Always assume the sale. Always assume that they're going to sign up for you. Here's the other thing. 100% of my deposits, 100% of them are 100% refundable. I had a commercial, a builder. He paid for, I don't know, $25,000. He paid upfront this year for doing some of their model homes in each of the neighborhoods. So that was $25,000 that they paid up front. Well, guess what? Excuse me, guys. I'm getting over a cold. So I've been trying not to snort and blow boogers and everything like that. I've been on my best behavior, but sorry, I apologize. I know that's nasty, but look, that builder, he prepaid. And he sent an email saying, hey, the budget's getting a little tight. I don't know that we're going to be able to do lights this year. And I'm looking at, oh, man, I'm going to have to refund a $25,000 payment. And so I went and talked to him. I said, hey, I'm willing to do permit. I'm willing to do this. You've already prepaid and everything else. He's like, oh, I thought that I just paid the 50% deposit. I thought that I owed you another 25 grand and I wasn't going to be able to do that. So no, we're still good. If I've prepaid, you're good to go. Guys, if I had not gotten him to prepay, he would not be scheduling right now. The money's already out of his bank account, so that's why we got the 25 grand. If I would have waited till right now to reach out to him, he would have said, hey, money's tight, guys. I don't have it in the budget right now. So that right there should tell you, reach out to your clients really soon. Don't be afraid of it, okay? But also, here's the other thing. If he would have said to me, look, I just got hit with a lawsuit, or I haven't been able to sell a home because interest rates went up really high, or this or that, I got high carrying costs right now, I would have written him a check and refunded 100% of that. If somebody loses a job, or if somebody's moving, or the death in the family, or just something catastrophic, okay, it's 100% refundable. That complete deposit is 100% refundable. That's me and my business. Maybe you have another way of doing it in yours, but that makes it very easy for a client to pay me. That's my goal, all right? Because I know that if they're hitting a hard time and they've already paid for the lights, they probably, maybe they can't make that final payment, but I can probably scale back their design, at least give them something and be like, hey, here's something to think about. I can give you that refund, or how about we just do the roof line in the bushes? How about we don't do the wreaths and the this and the that or whatever, right? And that's like maybe if they lost their job or something like that, like just be like, hey, how about I say, look, you've been a good client. You've been hiring us for a couple of years. I'm so sorry XYZ happened. Look, you've already paid the deposit. I'm happy to refund that, or I'll just go ahead and do the lights. If you're willing to pay the deposit that you've already paid, I'm not going to charge you any more, and I'm still going to put up all the lights for you. How does that sound? And I'm telling you, you handle it like that, you will get so many referrals, all the neighbors, everything else, and then next year when they're in a different situation, they'll go back and they'll pay for everything again, right? So that's something to think about. Now, we're coming up on 45 minutes, right? So I could go to answering some questions, or I can talk about some actual marketing or stuff like that. I do want to say, if you're going to reach out to your clients, email them all first and get through all of those, okay? Then text them all, get through all those, and then call all the remainders. Don't be lazy. And try to get an answer from every single person, and keep doing that. Like literally keep doing that. And that's your best way of advertising between now and November 1st or the last week of October, right? That is absolutely the best return that you will get. And go ahead and shoot an email out to all the previous year's quotes that you never closed. We just had a lady this year. We've been quoting her for 4 years in a row. 4 years. She goes ahead. You know what? That might actually be this job right here. That would be so funny. That might be this job. This is $3,000. I think I don't know. I don't remember. But it might have been this lady. One of the ladies I know the office was telling me that we've quoted them for like 4 years in a row. They never hired us. And they called us because of our email and our text message. And they said, hey, we want to sign up for you guys again this year. Guess what? Here, there's a hint. They hired a different company last year. Okay. And so we said, hey, we'd love to do it, but you didn't hire us last year. You might have hired somebody else, but here's a design that we can do for you. Pay the deposit. And she said, yeah, absolutely. I want to go with you guys. Let's do that. So 4 years, she hasn't hired us. We put out a quote just like this. And guess what? Our pricing has gone up every single year. I will lock in your pricing, and I will probably never raise it on you on whatever you hire us to do. I'm never going to increase that pricing, even if it's 10 years from now or whatever. Now, if you add on a new wreath and now I'm charging $600 a wreath, you're going to pay current rate. But if you're doing this roof line right here for $300 and you hire me every single year, 10 years from now, that's going to be $300. Okay. And that's just how I operate. Now, if you don't hire me and next year you reach out again, then it's going to be $500. Then it's going to be $1,000. Then it's going to be $2,000. Whatever my current market rates are. And if you reach out to me in December, it's going to be at $10, $12, $15, $20 a foot, not $8 a foot. Like if you reach out to me in the middle of the year. Okay. So that's a tip for you. And so again, we're going to lock these people in. We're going to reach out to them. We're going to follow up, and we're going to stay consistent. Let me see if I can get a screenshot real quick. If you guys got any questions, put it in the chat. I'm going to bring up my email real quick on another screen and see if I got any email templates or quote templates or anything like that. Let's see. Raul. Okay. We sent a follow-up to him. Here's a follow-up email that we just sent out. We are reaching out one last time. Our inventory is running out. This is on a quote follow-up. So we sent a quote and stuff like that. Our inventory is running out and we only have a few install spots left. Would you like to approve your lighting design for this year? Brightly NC Christmas lights. And there's a link to the quote. All right. So that is right there. Let's see what this one is right here. Yep, that's another follow-up. All these might be follow-up. Will arrive in 45 minutes. Let's see if I can get a better one than that. It'll arrive in 30 minutes. Let's go to a different one. No, let's not do that one. I'll go to an email. Now, all these are like, we'll be there soon. Okay, there we go. Your credit card on file for the preseason, all right, $175. Please update as soon as possible. So that's like a payment plan. When I reach out in January, that's another tip for you. We do 10 payments for 10% each. So you can make a payment January through October. And so this one was a $1,800 job. We charge them $178.81 a month. So that card declined and they need to update their card. All right, checking in. You enjoy the lights. There you go. All right, so let me pull up some emails and see what I got going on for some emails. All right, I don't know. I don't have any screenshots. That's approved. The lights guy. Okay, yeah, I don't have any good, and I'm rambling, so. I don't have any good email templates, but I know in CLC University, I have a bunch of templates. I got email templates, quote templates, A to Z, how I do all my quoting, all my line item photos, everything like that. It's $99 a month, guys. Just binge watch it, download all the stuff, cancel right away. I really don't care. We do the online training, in-person training. We just try to break even. Not trying to make a lot of money off of it, just trying to help people. It's made a big difference in my life. Hopefully it can make a big difference in yours. So just sharing all the tips and tricks. It's all organized right here, A to Z, at CLC University. So if you want to check that out, there's a QR code. I'll leave that up for a little while and I will start answering some questions. Okay, we got a bunch of questions in here. Okay. Okay, I have a Google account for a cleaning business. Can I use it? Doing first time. So yes, you can, but you will not get great results. So you'd go into your products and services and you'd put in there Christmas lights, installing Christmas lights, installing Christmas wreaths, and you'd offer all the services and stuff like that. But because your profile is optimized on Google already and it's already known for washing and this and that, Google is not going to recommend you very many people going to Google saying Christmas light installer near me. They're not going to pick you versus me that says NC Christmas lights. And everything that I do on that Google profile is light related. It's permanent light. It's temporary lights. It's Christmas. It's Christmas on a two-story. It's Christmas on a municipality. It's commercial Christmas. It's commercial wreath, commercial decor, tower trees. Oh, there's 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews that all say holiday lighting, pictures attached, this and that and the other. You know, so that's why I would tell you, you're going to get a much better result to go ahead and register your business name, pick it out, register with the Secretary of State, get a Christmas light email, go to Open Phone, get a Christmas light business, get it registered with the Secretary of State. You can list it at your home address. It's all legit, everything else, and just go ahead and set up a lighting profile for your business. If you're running it out of your house, no problem. Just get some signage on your truck, some business cards, some paperwork showing that your business is a legal entity registered at that address. And then you can say, hide my address and only show my service areas. And then you can pick your service areas. You'll get much better results doing it that way than just running it on your cleaning business account. Do you put yard signs in out of town areas? I mean, I'm going to put out yard signs where I want to do jobs. Okay. So I'm not going to put in yard signs in areas like that are out of my service area. So I don't know if that's what you're asking. So, but I'm going to put in yard signs, two types of yard signs. One is a bandit sign. Okay. A lot of people have gotten this, it's something that I've done and I just picked up on. I've never really done bandit signs where you put a ton of them out on the side of the road. maybe I put out 100 of them year one or something. I've just never done a lot of that. I think it's a great way of getting business. I just never built my business that way. But people have more success with yard signs than anything else. Blanket the town that just says, we install Christmas lights, and a phone number. Here's a pro tip for you. If your town does not allow that, go to Open Phone and just buy a different VoIP phone number. Okay, buy a phone number just for your yard sign, and everybody that calls in, don't answer it. Just let it go straight to voicemail. Don't say your business name. Don't say anything on there. Just say, hey, so sorry we missed your call. We'd love to get you a light quote. Just let us know your address and what you'd like designed on your home or business. Give us some information, and I promise we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Ding! Leave the voicemail. It doesn't say anything about your business. There's no way of them tracking you or anything else, and just let it all go to voicemail. The Karens who are upset, they'll leave a voicemail. You horrible person, how dare you put out a yard sign in front of my neighborhood? You're making the neighborhood trashy and this and that. And you just go, delete, okay? And then the people who are legit, you just immediately give them a call back. And when the city calls you, they got no way of tracking you. I mean, who are they going to find? The number is not trackable. So that's my tip for you if you're in an area that are yard sign Nazis, right? Just put a phone number on there that's not really tied to you. And so again, you're only calling people back, and you can filter out the people who are real legit whatever versus whatnot, and then send them a quote from your real legit business when they're a real legit client. When should I reach out to my pressure washing clients? Tonight, right now, right this second. Send them all an email. Literally right now. You're never going to be more motivated than you are right now. Year one, if you're year one, I'm assuming you are because you're asking this question. Everything between now and October 24th, everything you do between now and October 24th should be reaching out and diving into your spheres of influence in your existing list. Build that list as big as possible. Keep reaching out. Keep doing that. Don't spend a lot of money, but spend a lot of time between now and October 30th. So you got a month and a week to do nothing but just reach out to your existing list and get jobs on the schedule. Go ahead and practice, install them, do them on the weekends, do them, it's not dark till like 7, 8 o'clock. You can get done with your regular job and go put these up. Everything between now and October 24th, dive into your existing list and get some jobs on the schedule. Go out there at dusk and take 1 million photos for all your online advertising, letting everybody know what you're doing. If you just called all your friends and family and neighbors and people at church and everybody you go to get your kids' t-ball, the moms and the dads and the coaches and this and that, you've told them all and you've harassed them, they're sick of hearing about it, and then you start posting photos, all of a sudden, they're going to be like, wow, that went from really annoying to really cool. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this is what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about like just shitty lights or icicle lights or something like that from Home Depot. It's the first time I cussed tonight, I think. I apologize, guys. But we're not going to, that's what I thought. I had no clue. This is what you're doing, Donovan. That is so cool. Yeah, I'd love a quote. Or I think I know somebody who does that. I'm going to reach out to them, let them know that you do it, right? So everybody that you're reaching out to between now and then, it's not just that you're reaching out to them. It's, hey, our kids go to T-ball together. Do you know anybody who might be interested in professional? I just want to let you know that I offer this. My business offers this as a service. And if you know of anybody, we pay referrals, or I'm happy to buy. You and your wife. You got whatever. If you guys want to have a date night or something, then drop the kids off at my house. I'm happy to pay for your dinner or something like that. And you guys got date night on me. If you know anybody, and then they hire me to put this up. Date night's on me. You drop the kids off at my house. Kids will play for 2 or 3 hours, and I'll pay for you and the missus's dinner. And I might even chuck in another, between an hour and 7 minutes, however long it takes for you to go home and get a cookie at home too, right? So I don't know, guys, make it fun. Don't just try to sell them. Don't just throw it down their mouth. Try to build a relationship and actually connect with these people, not just spam, 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 hire me, hire me, hire me. If you were a real friend, you would hire me and pay full price. Not bullshit. If you were a real friend to them, you wouldn't be trying to make them pay you, right? But there could be something that is a win-win situation if you actually connect to them, actually talk to them. Maybe they know somebody that they would love to recommend you to because they get along with you, that they think you're a great guy or a great girl. and you know, you can make it a win-win, and they get a little benefit as well. So guys, the more creative you get with this, the better off you will be. Any tip for yard sign colors? Okay, the bandit sign, just do a white sign, and it's called full color, and just have all your lettering and everything like that be white, and then print red all around that. So that's called full color. The cheapest sign would be if they just print lettering. So if you do a white sign and you do like red lettering, that's the cheapest, but I don't think that that stands out enough. I would do what's called full color. Now you can also do all color or something like that, whatever, where it's actually multicolor, full color, you know, and it's printed on like 75% plus, and you can do that. And that's called a branded sign. So the sign that I put in the client's yard just has my logo on it and then my website. And it looks very nice. It's like Christmas red, not the bright, not bright like McDonald's red. It's like Christmas red, which is almost like a burgundy. It's a little bit nicer. It's not spammy. And so that's what I leave in completed yards. And when I'm leaving the neighborhood, it's called a branded sign. The bandit sign you put on the side of the road, the branded sign you leave in completed jobs. So I'll order 500 branded signs this year because we're actually projected to do about 500 installs this year. And then I'll order probably 1,000 just bandit signs. If I was doing all my areas, which I'm not, I'm only going to be putting out yard signs in one area. So I'm going to do 500 yard signs this year that are just the one color where it's white lettering and just all a red background. And that's my tip for you. 18 inches high by 24 wide with the yard stakes going down. Stacy Jordan. Okay, wait, here we go. How do I don't know that I can show. Stacy, I can't. You're on Facebook. You gave me 100% thumbs up check. So Stacy, she has more experience in this industry than probably anybody put together. Unfortunately, I can't highlight her right now. Maybe here, I'll put her name. Jordan. And I believe she's Red Sleigh Workshop. Red Sleigh Workshop or something like that. I think that's her business. Something similar to that. But Stacy Jordan, you look her up on Facebook, Red Sleigh Workshop. I believe that's her. Hopefully it's not a different Stacy Jordan I'm talking about. But she helps people get commercial business, right? So if you've already done $200,000-$300,000 a year and you're looking to get into commercial more, reach out to her. You will have to pay a $500 retainer, but for that $500 retainer, you will get a 2-hour consultation call and you will get a business audit where within, I believe, 48 hours, she's going to analyze your business, analyze your market, stuff like that, and send you a complete information packet. So it's a little bit upfront cost, but that way we know that she'll know that you're serious and she can help you get commercial leads. Or if you have a really big, huge commercial job that you don't know how to sell it, or you're stuck at like $5 grand, 10 grand, it's worth paying her a consultation and she can turn that job into a couple $100,000 and help you every step of the process. If you want her to bid it, she can help you bid it. If you want her to help you source materials, she can help with that. Like, she has a ton of experience in the industry. I think she sold over her career $65 million worth of commercial work. That could be way off. Maybe it's 35 million. But it's very impressive what she's accomplished, and she's going out in business for herself. So you can absolutely reach out to her. Should I run Facebook ads at the same time I put out yard signs out, or I put yard signs out? Sure, absolutely. If you got the budget to run Facebook ads, run them. I hire One Love Social to do my permanent lighting Facebook ads, and then to do my temporary lighting business social media. So I don't run ads for temporary lighting. Maybe I'll do it this year, but I probably won't. It's a lot of tire kickers, in my opinion. And there's not a huge return on it. But I do run ads for permanent, and that seems to be doing pretty good. But I've hired Ashley Bishling, whatever her name is, at One Love Social. She does that for me. Now, if you want to run them yourself, you can check out Spencer Clay or Steve Hunsecker. They both have coaching courses that teach you how to run your own ads. So that is put in the chat. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher Steve Hunsaker's last name. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't do that. Let me go to Facebook real quick and look it up. Steve Hunsaker. I know I can start texting it and it'll pop up. I do know that. I don't know how to spell his last name. Hunsaker. All right, those guys right here. So reach out to either one of those guys. They are great about teaching people how to set up and run and modify their own ads and stuff like that. Spencer Clay's real good about like just keeping it real simple. Steve actually has content and scripts, and he will actually hold you accountable. So Steve, Steve and Spencer are both great guys to teach you how to run your own. Oh, cool. Red Sleigh Workshop right there. So this is, there we go. Red Sleigh Workshop. All right, 69 million. So that's her company right there. She's done 69 million in her career in commercial sales. She just helped a couple of companies do. So that's Stacy Jordan, Red Sleigh Workshop. So I got that right. Great company to reach out to. I learned a lot about signs tonight. Sorry, Paul. Yeah, I talked a lot about signs. I didn't have a lot of time to get into a lot of other tips and tricks. So it's just kind of basics tonight. I will absolutely keep going live, and I will refine what I'm talking about each week or each day. I might even just go live tomorrow and go into more detail about marketing. There we go. If I go live tomorrow, what would you guys want me to talk about? If I go live for an hour tomorrow, what would you guys like me to talk about? I don't want to just spend all the time on the basics, but this is the first time I've gone live this year, so I had to kind of cover a lot of the basics. I apologize, Paul. He was kind of being nice the way he said it, but kind of like, dang, this was a waste of an hour of my life. But Paul would be happy. I think I've only cussed twice, so maybe his kid, he didn't have to send his kids out of the room this live. Anywho, let's go back up here. I got a couple more questions. Okay, let's go back to this. I do want to address this real quick. Should I run Facebook ads at the same time as yard signs? Yes. In a nutshell, here's how you do Facebook ads. Come up with 5 ads. $5 a day budget for each of those. So that's $25. You run it for 5 days. You're in it for $125. Make sense? After that, you target. So you're targeting. Just target your highest earning income zip codes in your service area. Right. So all your high income zip codes, you target those, and let Facebook figure out who specifically to target to. All you target is those zip codes. 5 ads for 5 days for $5 each. Am I making it simple? If you even want, pick your top 5 zip codes, right? Top 5 zip codes, 5 ads for 5 days at $5 each. Okay? Do the 5 method. I just came up with that myself. Maybe somebody else does it, but my noodle just came up with that. I'm going to start using that. Okay? After those 5 days, you pick your best performing ad. This one got me 5 clicks. This one got me 3 clicks. This one got me no clicks. This one got me 37 clicks. This one got me 2 clicks. So I'm going to take this ad right here. All right. That's not my middle finger. That's my ring finger. What do you call this finger on the opposite hand? Anyhow, this ad right here was my best performing ad. So now I'm going to create 4 more ads that are this style. So maybe this was a video ad. Maybe this was just a picture. Maybe this was like a text ad. Maybe this was a before and after. Maybe this was a different video ad. But whichever one performed the best, you're going to mimic that style of ad, and you're going to have now 5 more ads running for 5 more days at $5 each. Okay? So it's like taking 2 M&Ms and you squeeze them together. And the one that breaks, you eat it. The one that doesn't break, you take another M&M and you squeeze it together. And you keep doing that. And you get all the way through the bag of the M&Ms, and the strongest M&M, you just set it on the table and you don't eat that one. That one's the victor. That one's the strongest. That was the best performing M&M, and you let that one go free. All the other ones get eaten or discarded, right? Does that make sense? So, that's what we're doing with our ads. We're running, it's called an A/B test, but we're calling it A, B, C, D, E test, right? And you just do that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a row, and all of a sudden you're going to have an amazing ad. And then you can start running that ad. You can start doing $10, $20 a day to the best ad after 2 or 3 rounds of like A/B testing. Okay. And then you run it, you don't need to spend $1,000 a day, guys, unless you're actually starting to sell jobs. But I would encourage you over the next few weeks, you could start figuring out what your best performing ads are for those different areas. And then by the time November 1st rolls around, you can turn up your ad spend or turn on your advertising, and you already know that you have a really well-performing ad. And then actually all those tire kickers are going to turn into paying clients. So that would be my method for doing Facebook ads. And all the ad agencies do something very similar. So if you don't have the time to do it, like me, I have the time to do it. I just don't have the attention span to stay on task for like 4 weeks in a row. Okay, you can just pay an ad agency. They're going to do something very similar to that. And they probably have data from 100, 200 different lighting companies that they know is going to work. Oh, okay. That's a good one. Give some motivation. Let's see your 2024 Xmas Rev. Okay, I can do that, man. Let me see. Give me a minute, guys. If you got any other questions, put them in the comments. Let me look up some ad rev. Okay. Just give me a few minutes. It might take me, excuse me. It might take me a minute to get into my reports. Jobber does not have the best reporting in the world, but I can do some stuff. Reports. Let's see, visits. Start within, let's see, a specific day, custom range. So let's go. What was my revenue for, what month are we in? September? Let's do September. Visits. Okay. Looks like I didn't have any visits from August 16th to September 15th. Nothing last year. Let's just go from the end of the month. So let's just go. Let's see what I made in. There we go. All right. Apply. Let me edit my columns. Job. Sorry, so I'll do job number, visit tile. I don't need all the client information. I don't need any of that. Assigned to, line item. Yeah, I do one-off job, visit base, scheduled duration. Okay, how many are we going to display per page? Let's do 50. Okay, so let me see if I can share this with you guys. Add scene, media. No, slide screen. Let's do a window. That one right there. Share. Can you guys see this? You guys see all that? All right, cool. There we go. So give them some numbers from last year. So last September on this one, I got a couple of jobbers, but I'm just going to share this one window. So it looks like we had $26,000 worth of work completed in September. Oh, wait. So that's August 1st through September. Okay. Yeah. There we go. September. Yeah. Okay. So that was all in September. Let's look at October, and let's see, September, October. I don't know if this has any commercial stuff. October, and I think this was, all right, so October was 150. I think, so this is residential. Let's go November. All right, so October, November 30th through, there we go, November 30th. 350. So what? We're up at $500,000 right there. And December. We do anything in December? Yeah, another what? 250. So what was that? We up at 750, 800, $900,000, something like that. What was the quick math? Can anybody add that up? Does anybody remember the numbers? Yeah, so that was Raleigh last year. What was that total for residential? How can I become a billionaire? I don't know, dude. I just showed you how you can do. What was that? 800 grand in lights, residential lights. So that was residential in one area. So I said we got Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh. So that was Raleigh last year, and then we got some commercial jobs on top of that. So yeah, it was pretty good. All right. Okay. I have a customer. Hey, here's something. Have you guys had anybody else, any of these gurus or anything like that, actually open up their books and show you guys like actual real numbers? Have you ever seen that on a live, like shared out to the public? I am nothing if not transparent. Well, like I said, I told you we did at least $500,000. That's one of our service areas, residential, right? So I am not lying. I'm not making it up. I'm not some guru that 10 years ago said 300,000 and then turned into $500,000, all of a sudden turned into $1 million, and he hasn't ever installed a job since he first started being a guru. But the number keeps changing. So that's a little jab for you. You guys can put 2 and 2 together and figure out who I'm talking about. I have a customer who said no to lights this year because his wife is in ICU. I'm going to do his lights this year for free. Hopefully it builds the relationship more than his 3rd year with me. And, he was one of my very first clients. So Gavin, dude, hats off to you. That is something that I say, like, I charge what I charge so that I can then charge what I feel like I should charge. And in this situation, I've absolutely done that many times. And I think that there's nothing wrong with also letting people know the name of your company and that you're willing to do a good thing for them. And the reason behind that is you would do this regardless. You would do it for all the right reasons, even if you didn't get anything out of it. But think about how much that might inspire other businesses to maybe do something for this very exact client. And so this is what I would say. I would say, hey, my name is Donovan with NC Christmas Lights. I have a client who has hired me for the last several years, but this year his wife is in the ICU and they're going through a tough time. So we're going to put up the lights for free as well. Now, I also know that there is some need to have their yard gone over. So if anybody owns a landscaping business, maybe that you just be willing to cut the grass. I'm not going to give out their information, but I will be willing to kind of be like the go-between. What I would like to do is really bless this person. I know they're great people. They're really deserving. But if anybody's willing to cut the grass or anybody willing to aerate and overseed or whatever, I'm also willing to, if you can't do it for free, I do, maybe we can raise some money or something like that. Maybe somebody can't help, but I really want to bless this person this year. I'm going to donate the lights for free. If anybody wants to write just get well cards or whatever, you can mail them to my house and then I will deliver. Again, I'm doing that because I don't want to give out this client's information and I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. And I want to just say to the husband, hey, this is what we're doing. Are you okay with that? If you're not comfortable with that, I won't keep doing it, right? I won't keep asking people. And I haven't shared any of your information yet. But if you think that this maybe your wife is going through a tough time and maybe she would really appreciate it. And I just want you to know that the whole community is behind you and they want her to get better and they're really rooting for you. But you got a whole community of people that are willing to help out and pitch in and do something. I think that it'd be worth, just saying hi and letting everybody know. And you never know what this could turn into. It could turn into a really good blessing. It might take your wife off of what she's fighting for right now. It might, maybe reading some of these business cards or just hearing about these different organizations that are willing to help out. It might take her mind off what she's going through right now. So, bro, you do that for all the right reasons and you explain that to the client and to people on social media or whatever. That will turn into as a positive result, not the main reason why you're doing it, but just a byproduct of that will be setting the right light on your business and what you stand for. And I can almost guarantee it will lead to more work because people will be willing to support you for all the right reasons. And it's not sleazy if you do it that way. Or you could just be a secret Santa and not tell anybody. Nothing wrong with that either. On the first email you sent out, are you including the quote in that? So Dennis, are you talking about pre-qualification or are you talking about follow-up? So on my follow-up emails, I'm not really including a quote. it will get to a point in time. If I've not heard back from that client by, let's say, the 15th of October, I will just type up the quote and send it to them. Right? So by then I've reached out probably 10 times. I've emailed, I've texted, I've phone called, and I haven't heard from the clients. I'll just type up the quote and send it to them. And that will be, you know what I mean? Hey, pay your deposit. You know, it'll be like, hey, here's your quote, click approve and get it on the schedule. And sometimes doing that, you'll just get a bunch of people that just click approve, right? Now, on pre-qualification, what I will do, typically a pre-qualification will include the red line. So this time of the year, that is one of the most important things that you guys need to do is pre-qualify all your clients. So this time of the year, we will find a photo of their home and we'll draw this red line on there and we'll say, hey, to do the front roof line of your house, it's outlined in red, and I will embed this photo in the email, okay? I will say it would be about $1,200. If that works for you, let us know. Do you want warm white or multicolor? We can customize this or whatever. There's also a lot of other line items that we can do on the house, like wreaths and bushes and landscape lighting and like there's a lot of other things. How does that sound? So that is part of the pre-qualification email I will send out. Now, a month ago, we would get them on the phone and we would have a 5-10 minute phone conversation with them. And we describe our entire process and how we put the lights up and build value and talk about how we're doing it, not just what we're charging and all that other type of stuff before we ever get to the pre-qualification ballpark. Right now, we're ballparking pretty quick, and that's our pre-qual. And then we're going into how we are going to install it and building value into the service. And then it will get to our email just becomes in November. Actually, last year, we just turned away hundreds of bids because we literally could not install any more work. But what it will turn into is like, hey, for the average home that's 3,000 square feet, people are paying $1,500. Okay. And here's a picture of our work. If that sounds good to you, let us know, blah, blah, blah. So we're not even bringing up their personal. We're just saying our average install is this much. Let us know if you want us to look up your home. So it's all about speed to lead. And if we're getting 100 leads in a day, or 50 leads in a day, how many of those quotes can you actually send out or go out to and stuff like that? So it's all about keeping it simpler. As you get busier in the year, you simplify, raise your price, raise your price, raise your price. What size? 18 by 24. Yes, my yard signs are 18 inches high, 24 inches wide with the metal stake, double-sided. All right, Red Sleigh. Thank you for the shout out. You're very welcome for the shout out. Keep doing good work. Yes, marketing crash course would be awesome. I have experience, but need more knowledge on marketing. I will tell you this. I can. Did I just start? No, I am about to end. Marketing crash course. I will tell you this. I'll do it in the lives, but if you want it all organized in one place, okay? If you want everything organized in one place, check this out right here, okay? CLC University, it's $99 for a month, okay? It's literally step by step. There's even a one course on all the how-to, so you can send your installers that work for you, just have them watch that one course, and they see none of the marketing stuff. But literally A to Z, there's example of my quotes. There's recording of my phone calls talking to clients, and all of that is on there. And you can literally look it all up A to Z on CLC University. It's $99. Binge watch all of it in the next 30 days and just cancel. There is a free course on there, but it doesn't go into as much detail about everything. But this is a great resource right there. Or just keep checking out the lives. They will be posted on our YouTube channel. They will be posted on the Facebook page, the Facebook group, on Instagram. There will be a lot of information on there that you guys can check out. What was your goal in revenue your first year? So I did not have a revenue goal my first year. So my story was I was so busy cleaning gutters, I really didn't even want to install lights. Fred Zimmerman got into the gutter cleaning Facebook group, and he was trying to build Christmas Light Contractor group on Facebook. He was trying to build his Facebook group. And so he went into these other groups, and he was starting to find influencers and stuff like that. And I was kind of like a pseudo influencer or whatever for gutter cleaning. And Fred was just like, look, Donna, if you can clean gutters, you can clip light bulbs on them, and you'll make a whole lot more money. And he just kept bugging me until I was like, fine, I'll do it. But I was like, but bro, I'm so busy. He's like, well, just charge a ridiculous amount of money. So I did that. I did no advertising. I sold a few jobs off a couple of Facebook posts, and I collected 50% deposit. I bought a bunch of materials. It took like 2 weeks back then to get materials. Now it only takes 2 days from my company, Christmas Light Contractors. We can do 2-day shipping anywhere in the country, and you just pay for ground shipping. You're going to get it in 2 days or less. A lot of places, they get it the next day, and you just pay for regular ground shipping, okay? But I collect 50% deposit. I installed the jobs, and I maybe did like 20 houses or something like that. My average ticket was like $700 a ticket, and I was happy. So I maybe only did 10 grand, something like that my first year. I was just dipping my toes in the water. I did all the installs myself, all the quoting, everything. And I just wanted to see if it would work. I fell in love with it. I had a couple of clients that were just so appreciative. You know, I made their house look really beautiful. And it was a completely different feeling than what I was used to, which was like do 10 to 15 gutter cleaning jobs a day per crew. And just like get it done quick and just like charge cheap and stack them deep, right? That was my business model. I learned premium pricing. And from there, it literally changed the financial future for my family. I started charging premium for everything. I started offering more value to my clients, not just charging cheap. And it made a huge difference. I think year 2, I did 78 grand. Year 3 was like 100 or 220, I think year 3. And year 4, I was like 400 or 500 grand. And from 500 grand, I haven't tracked it. Okay. It's just gone up from there. You know, we run a 7-figure business, but I got to be completely honest with you. I couldn't tell you to the closest 100 grand how much I actually make in lights because I don't track that anymore. My limitation has always been for the last few years, labor. Last year, like I said, I didn't quote a single job in November because we were completely booked up. I couldn't get any more labor to install the jobs. This year, you know, I have a goal. I'll let you guys know if I hit it or not, but I'm trying to do 1.5 in residential work. So I will let you guys know how we do in residential work. That should be with about 5 crews. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll probably add on more crews in November if I can. You know, I'll start with about 5 crews. And then as the crews are doing really good, I'll split them and put helpers on there. But my goal for this year is about 1.5. Become a billionaire like you. I am far from it, man. But I will tell you, you know, my financial, like it went from, I made 6 figures cleaning gutters. And I thought that I was like doing really good. But looking back, if I would have had like 1 week of ice or 1 week of rain, I would be very close to missing payroll. I didn't have any buffer room. I was always working. I had golden handcuffs. Then we started doing 6 figures in light. We started doing just as much in lights as I did all year cleaning gutters. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it started turning into lights would bail me out and make it so that I wasn't in debt and give me some room to breathe. And so we were doing 6 figures in lights. And then it went into like 6 figures in the bank account. And then it turned into like multiple 6 figures in profit. So it has been very good for my financial future. The wife and I have always, for the last few years, have had a year's worth of bills that we could pay in January. We could if we never made $1 in our business, we could pay our bills that year. And I'm telling you, we've had 4 kids since we started hanging lights, and it's made such a big. Because I'm telling you, there were so many times that I would pay my guys on Friday, and then I would go out literally at 5 o'clock. I would pay my guys, hey, let's finish early, guys, today. I'm gonna get you your checks and get everybody paid. And I paid my last dollar to my guys. I never missed payroll, but I paid out my last dollar. And then I would go out after I gave everybody checks, and never bounced a check to an employee. But I would go out because I had $0, and there's no way that I'd be able to even buy food that night. And I went out and I worked till 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'd point my headlights at the house, and I'd turn the lights on in the truck and clean the gutters at 9 o'clock at night, and just be praying that they wanted to pay me on the spot and not give me a check because I needed the cash, right? In the bank account to like pay me and keep me going to the following week. I stayed there way too long, guys. I've been in business for 20 years, and way too long of that, I was like literally paycheck to paycheck. And then even with employees, like I just had to feed the beast. I wasn't charging enough. I didn't understand providing value to my clients. The only value that I could provide was cheap labor. And a lot of times I was losing money, but I needed that few bucks just to keep the machine going. And I lived there way too long. You guys do not have to do that. We got guys that have watched the online training and done 6 figures their first year just from watching like YouTube videos and plugging into the group. We had a guy last year, he had no other option, and he did $200,000 in October and November installing lights, but he had no other option. He was living in his car in October, and he did 200 grand. A lot of that went to materials, but he just hustled and grind. That was not my story, but I am so thankful that that is an option. If you're in a really tight spot, you can reach out to me one-on-one, and I promise you, I will bend over backwards so that you guys don't have to go through the hardships that I went through for 10 years in business. Like, this could be your year that you change your family's financial future. And I'm not bullshitting you guys. Like, that is my story. And that is why I do what I'm doing right to this day. Same thing for my partner, Fred Zimmerman. I am thankful for him. I will, if anything ever happened to him, I promise his family will be taken care of till the day I die. I will do everything in my power to take care of that man for what he's like helped me out with and help my family's financial future. And I would expect the same from him. We're just really good people at CLC, and that's why we do it. Reaching out to repeat customers. I did go over that, rewatch the live. For the first time, shoot an email, like do a big blast. So reaching out to first customers for the first time, simply do a big email blast, because you're not going to get very many people opening it, but you can get out to everybody, and that's the quickest way. And then after that, shoot them a text message, and then after that, give them a call and a phone call. Oh, here we go. Hello from Arizona. It is hot here. Yeah, it was 90 degrees here in North Carolina, right? Yeah. People don't think of lights yet. So I will say this. It's kind of weird, but the first time in North Carolina that it gets really cold, that's when I notice that people start thinking about lights. So the first time that it like drops to 50 degrees or like 60 degrees, all of a sudden, all those quotes that we sent out, everybody just starts approving them left and right, left and right, left and right. My schedule fills up. So my last tip for you guys tonight is, once your schedule starts filling up, if you're using a CRM like Jobber or something like that, archive all your old quotes, okay? Send one last thing to them and say, you can send one email to your clients and say, hey, pricing's literally going up next week. You have this weekend to approve your quote, and then pricing is going up. You archive all those quotes Sunday afternoon and then raise your pricing. What you don't want is somebody, if you quote them $6 or $8 a foot in September, you don't want them approving that in November, the week of Thanksgiving, where you could be charging $10, $12 a foot. You could literally get double the week of Thanksgiving if your schedule's already full. So make sure when you're raising your pricing that you archive all your own old quotes, so that way they do not get approved when your schedule's already full. So with that, guys, God bless. Take care. I will probably go live. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. It will 100% every week on Mondays. We will have a live with Christmas Light Contractors. It's not always going to be me. It'll be Tyler. It'll be Fred. It'll be a few other people. We'll have guests on and everything else. But I might just do some short lives or release some videos or something like that, going over. A lot of people want to know about marketing. So maybe I'll hop on here a little bit later this week, and maybe not. But if not, I'll see you guys next Monday. God bless. Take care. And I hope